finally set free from the secret chain of sin. Look on my affliction and my distress, and take away all my sins. Psalms 25:18. As I saw her smiling ever so brightly, I was greatly touched and amazed. This must be a miracle. How can a person be changed so dramatically? She likes me and grins with delight whenever our eyes meet. Looking back when I first met her, the change she went through cannot be explained as anything else but a miracle. She was born deep in the mountains of Gangwon-do, South Korea. She was the fourth child among 6 siblings in a poor family. Before she turned 6, her father passed away. Her 40-year-old mother had to carry the entire burden of providing for her 6 children. Endless labor in the rice field wasn't enough to feed 7 people. Then one day, a strange man from the village over the mountain came to visit the struggling mother. As he began to stay over from time to time, the economic situation of the family also began to get better by little. No one among the 6 children mentioned their mother's man. It was like a Pandora's box, except everyone knew what was inside. Time passed by while the children were in confusion whether he was now their father or not. She was now a middle school student. One day, when she was alone at home, he showed up. Then he molested her. She kept her eyes tightly closed and just laid there from the fear of driving the entire family back into starvation if she resisted and refused him. This happened repeatedly. Her mother and siblings also knew about it but kept quiet. Everyone had to pretend as if they didn't know anything because of their desperation for surviving. She was too young to know that this would lead her entire life into misery. Only years later, when her mother broke up with him, was she able to set free from those dreadful times. In her late 20s, she married a gentle and kind man who loved her, and she gave birth to 2 daughters. Even after marriage, her horrifying past always tortured her. She had to bear the secret shadow of guilty conscience all the time. She could not stand those memories. She was so distressed that she wanted to die. She lost motivation to do anything and became lethargic. Her emotions fluctuated. She would feel exhilarated, and the very next moment she would feel extremely down. When she became outraged, she would ruthlessly beat and swear at her daughters. And after calming down, she would suffer from endless feelings of guilt. She lived in agony for 20 years. It is needless to say that she failed to educate her daughters properly. They reasoned that their mother was mentally ill. She abandoned all her duties, including house chores, and cared for nothing. When she came to our church one day, she was completely destroyed and broken down. She said, "I want to know about God." Surprised, I looked into her eyes and asked, "Since when did you want to know him?" "Long ago. I have wanted to get to know him since a long time ago." She said that, although she had attended church for years, she had never experienced what it is like to completely commit her soul to God, and that was why she wanted to study the Bible in depth. As it was her wish, I taught her the Word of God. Whatever I taught her, she would always put what she learned into action before coming back to me. One of the things she had to fiercely fight against herself was the feeling of lethargy. It makes you not want to even lift a finger. She would draw curtains and sleep all day long. She was always half asleep, and half awake. It was surprising to see the desire to get to know God spring up from such an unmotivated woman. She had to call upon Jesus countless times when she decided to clean the house. She had to call upon Jesus with all her soul and might when she decided to prepare a meal for her family. Then those lethargic thoughts disappeared and she could move herself to work. She had to draw upon every ounce of her energy in order to win the battle against herself and achieve things that are extremely trivial to others. She said that she sometimes cried her heart out when she lost the battle. She prayed so many nights and days in order to keep herself from flaring up at her daughters. There were many times when I had to wipe the tears that were flowing down my face as I listened to her stories. Her battle was so fierce that she even lost weight. Slowly she escaped from the darkness. One day, with a big bright smile on her face, she said that she was happy to leave. It was because she was now gaining victory in every battle against herself. I am grateful to have the power to control my emotions and my mind. I am so happy that sometimes tears break out even in the middle of my sleep. She called upon Jesus so many times in order to be freed from the secret shadow of guilty feelings. When I make up my mind firmly not to allow those thoughts in my mind anymore and call upon Jesus, the Lord never fails to help me remove those thoughts. It is just incredible. I always find it amazing when I think about how it is possible. Today, she shows no signs of darkness. It is because her bright smile proves the fact that Jesus is alive.